Hi, today we have the pleasure of introducing you an author and a good friend of mine who is setting her own tone and has taken beauty to a new level. She's here to give us a sneak peek of her new book, Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, The Evolution of Beauty That Connects Us All. And here's my friend, Larissa Hollins.
Hi.
Hi, Larissa. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Thank
Let's
you.
have a seat
Thank
and let's
you.
talk about your book.
Thanks so much for having me.
Well, welcome. I have the pleasure of reading your book.
Thank you.
So let's talk about your book.
Les.
Larissa, what is your book about?
My book, Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, The Evolution of Beauty That Connects Us All. It's a story about my life and evolving into the woman I am today. And that story starts with when I was 17 years old. All of my hair just fell out within 6 months. I was completely bald, no eyelashes, no eyebrows. At 17 years old in high school, senior.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And what I later learned is I had a condition called alopecia, which simply just means in layman's terms for the world to understand, it just means that your body is allergic to your own hair. And it happens in different variations. It could be bald spots. It could be parts of your body. For me, it was my entire body, which is alopecia universalis.
That's a big word.
Yeah, but the real killer of all of this is that I was completely healthy. Alopecia is something that happens, but it's you're completely healthy. And while this was all happening, I mean, I lost so many friends. People in my family couldn't quite understand it. I mean, the whole thing of it is that no one understood. It was gossip, beyond gossip. It was a very trying time because I didn't know who I was. And
You were lost.
I was lost. It led me into depression. I was suicidal. I had a suicide note. I was ready to go. This wasn't part of my plan. It wasn't part of my plan to be a great woman in life. It just really put brakes on who I am. And no one had answers. Doctors did not have answers. Once I knew that, I can't imagine myself being 80 years old going through hell. I just don't see it. Why put myself through it? So 10 years forward, which is part of the evolution of Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, the evolution of beauty that connects us all. One day, I decided to not wear hair. I said, you know what, if I'm going to stay on this planet, how am I going to do that?
So you just decided one day?
One day. It took I thought about it for weeks, but it was going to happen. It was one of those things where, this is going to happen. And I just wanted to put myself in a situation where I couldn't hide anymore. And so one day I decided, and I went to work one day with no hair. I was out there as all get out. I couldn't hide. I couldn't go back. I couldn't run away. And what I learned is that people actually are not as bad as I thought they were. They're just curious like anyone else. You can't really blame someone for not knowing something that's not out there.
You're educating people.
Yeah, I mean, cancer wasn't known until, someone got that advertised, but people don't know anything besides this look other than cancer. And so it's kind of like when they see you, it's this boo-hoo kind of thing, and you're like, well, I don't have cancer. That's not the definition that I claim. So anyhow, I made that decision one day, and within 6 months, I got comfortable with my own skin. I just loved who I am. It was no more hiding. It was just such a relief. And it was just this knowing who I am, and I don't have to conform to be like the standard of beauty that we're presented with on reality shows, from celebrities, from the news, from billboards, catalogs, clothes. It goes on and on and on and on.
Magazine, teenager things has to be a certain way.
Yeah.
And you actually start to realize, hey, this is not how it's supposed to be.
This is not how it's supposed to be. It just didn't feel right. Even when I had hair and I was popular and everything was just picture perfect, as they say, I always had this trend of being closer to this, what I call beautiful ones in my book, to be closer to this standard of beauty. And even though I never reach it, I was always trying, because I loved the compliments and I love all the, the attention I would get. But that really is not who I am. It's not who a woman is. It's not who any of us are. We're not our looks. So my book, Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, The Evolution of Beauty That Connects Us All, is simply about my struggle, how I handled it, how I corrected it, and really revealing the woman I am today, who I always was, but I had to really go through. I was a diamond in the rough, and now I'm a diamond.
Wow. It's always good to be a diamond. We always they always say, a diamond is a woman's best friend.
Yes, definitely.
So in this same state, and with how much you have learned, what do you want to portray now and teach the women about your book? What do you want to teach and let them understand?
My advocation what I want to get to women globally, and this is for young girls, this is for older women, this is really for everyone. If you're a human being and you're like alive, this is for you. But my focus is on women of all ages, all nationalities. What I want them to learn is that you can be the example of beauty that you want to see in this world. I don't care what has happened to you. I don't care if you were born with an oddity that makes you different. I don't care if you had a car accident and you look nothing like you did a week ago. Okay? If you make the decision to love yourself and you know who you are, no one's going to deny you of that. They're going to just see this aura about you. You're just confident, and they're going to want to be around that. You're going to be part of this energy of bringing the woman back to the royal throne, because believe me, it's gone. Right now, we have women who are using whoredom for careers, and that's our idols. Everyone wants to be like that at 3, 4, 5, 6 years old, and that's not how it's supposed to be.
That is true. So you're teaching, and in the book, the more we read, the more we understand, the more we learn.
Exactly.
So we have to read the book.
You have to read this book because it talks about my story in detail, what I went through. As a reader, you're going to be able to really experience this as if it's happening to yourself. And I feel that's how we connect. You're going to be able to relate. The response that I had to the world is how you experience it now, but you're going to experience how my perception was when it was distorted. It's really about learning from my lessons and awaken to your own beauty. If I can do it, you can do it. And it's really about just changing the energy on this planet of women just really awakening to who they are. Because you don't have to conform to be like someone else. You were born an original, don't die a copy. And that's something that I live by in my life. It's something that I advocate in my book. It's really important to preserve the individuality of a woman.
So basically what you're saying is, for all of us, the teenager down to mom, dad, grandma, whoever, you read this book, it makes you realize, hey, I can be individual. I can actually overcome whatever it is I'm going through in my life.
It's to be an individual, you can overcome, because I think that some people feel like if you're born with something, that's the way it is, but sometimes life is not like that. You have interruptions in your life that cause an alter of your beauty. But this is for the teenagers, this is for young children. I think it's something that this should be taught at a very young age, to know that your physical beauty is not who you are. But this is for teenagers, young women, it's for older women. It's about embracing who you are and preserving that and not letting anyone turn you around from loving who you are.
Well, I'm going to ask you a question, and I mean, it's not one of the questions we discussed earlier, but
Yeah.
I mean, all viewers want to know this question. What makes your book, really makes your book different from everybody else's book who says, hey, read my book, I will change your life? What is going to make your book so different that when I hold that book, I don't want to let it go?
What makes my book unique and stands out, and it's what I call truth, is because not only do I tell you my story, but it's work. It's a lot of work that I have to go through. I mean, nothing comes easy. There's a price to pay. And in order for me to get right here and still be talking to you and be on this planet and really be alive, I have to really do the work and look within myself. In my book, I talk about details of my attempts with suicide, sleeping pills. As I mentioned earlier, I had a suicide note. I almost wasn't here. It's almost tear-worthy. It is tear-worthy because just going over my memories when I was writing this book, I had to really go back to that place that I wanted my readers to view. I wanted my readers to really go through this experience with me. My book is so unique because it's not about just telling you, okay, you can do it, I can do it. We already have that on TV.
Yes, we do.
This is about basically knowing that this happened, letting people know this is what it is, but you have the responsibility to make the decision how you want things to be in your life. It's really in all aspects of our life, but it comes down to you making the decision that you can change this. How do you want to live your life and how do you want to be? You can either deal with this or continue what you're doing, because otherwise it's your fault. So this is about taking responsibility and being the example of beauty that you want to be. And I have those principles in my book. I show you how to do it step by step. I give you examples how I handled my situation to make it better. All the information is there. It's just about you reading the book and everything takes its course. But you have to do the work.
I got to read. Basically, I got to read. If I don't read, I don't get to know.
You have to
know. So basically, if I want to learn and figure it out, not like anybody else's book, I need to pick up your book. And I did read your book. It was fantastic.
Thank you.
I enjoyed a lot. And it actually taught me some stuff that I thought I didn't need to know, but it puts you in a different perspective. It is a book you want to read. And I know the viewers out there are going to enjoy it. So my question will be, where do I get the book?
Very good question. Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, The Evolution of Beauty That Connects Us All. It can be purchased at Amazon.com.
I love Amazon.
Yes, Amazon is wonderful. And it can be searched by either my name, Laressa Hollins, LERESAHOLLINS, or just simply the search type of Mirror, Mirror on the Wall. And that will bring up my book as well. But it can be located there, Amazon.com, and you need to go out and get it. This is I can't tell you how much truth this is. I put all of my work and my truth into this, and I really want to contribute to changing women's lives. I think it's important. We're all signs. If it wasn't for someone showing me a couple years ago, a lady in New York, her name is Margaret Baker, and she's an actress, and I'd seen this bald woman who's married, she's beautiful, she has these, she's an actress, and no one was staring at her. I'm like, why? Is it because it's New York? But it's because of the tone she set. It was the example she put, and she told me one day, she said, you know what, you got to help other people, and that will help yourself. And so I really want to help women, and I really want them to wake up to, they don't have to conform, and you can be the example of beauty that you want to see in this world.
Now, I do have to ask you, is it only for women and for young girls? Or, because you specify that, or can a man who's going through the same thing, as you said, as all genders, all species, who loses his hair, can he read it and feel and learn? I mean, it's not everything, but he will understand and be able to grow with it also.
This is a good question, and I'm glad you raised it. Oh, I do have a focus in women because we need the most healing. But this is for men. As I mentioned earlier, that alopecia can happen to men as well. It's all ages. There's really no target. It doesn't discriminate when it gets you. But it is for men as well. It happens to them. Some men really are vain and they need to have that awakening as well. But ultimately, one thing I want to be different from everybody else. This is not an advocation of alopecia. It's not about hair loss. If you think it's about hair loss, well,
wrong book.
You've lost the plot.
Yeah.
This is not about hair, and that's what awakened me. It's about the fact that, I am a woman, and if I were a man, this would be a whole nother game. This would be a whole nother perception, and it opens up a whole nother cans of worms of the injustice that women have of having to conform to another standard of beauty outside of our own that is not even achievable. So you're spending all your life being this, trying to be this person, and you're never going to get there. It's a game of, a race you'll never win. You don't have to do that. The game is won. Being you is the only way to be the best version of you. This is for men. This is for young girls. This is for women. This is for people who have had tragic things happen to them that they feel like nobody understands. Because I know what that feels like. Nobody understands. And you're left to deal with it with yourself. So it's for everyone. It's for everyone. And I want everyone to go out and get it. And I really want you to experience, to be awakened with my story. So
don't forget to say, where is this you can purchase it at?
It can be purchased at Amazon.com and search Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, or simply Laressa Hollins, LERESA Hollins, HOLLINS.
Well, Laressa, it was a pleasure getting to speak to you, and I hope to talk to you again another time, an interview where we actually can have more and have the second book coming out, right?
Likewise, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, thank you again,
Likewise.
and we'll talk again.
Thank you.
Bye.